Welcome to the most heretical stream on the internet. I give you Wally1169.
Hello everyone, welcome to the stream and welcome back after a week away. Plus, unless you were here on Sunday, then, well, it was only a week then. But welcome back. Welcome back to me, I guess, more than to you guys. You guys are probably like, where's that idiot ad again? Oh yeah, that's right. But anyways, we're back and we are starting a new game. We are going to be starting Captain of Industry tonight. Update 3 has been out for a little while and I've been wanting to get back into it here on stream. But first, Raven is here claiming first and a Nerd Shirt Alert, which is channel gear. I guess apropos for the stream. Kelsmar is here as well over there on the Twitch, securing the removal of the hat. Means I will probably get another hat redeem. Raven's also on the YouTubes as well, and Graspian is over there as well. Welcome in, everybody. So, Update 3 came out. Gosh, has it been 2-3 months now, probably? And we almost played it in place or at the same time, or at the time that we started Microtopia. Microtopia got more votes in the poll in the Discord, so that's what we did first. But as I mentioned a couple of times during the streams of that, it was kind of starting to get to me in terms of its kind of the tediousness of some of it. And it was pointed out, Grasping pointed out in Discord yesterday that, well, Captain of Industry has some tedious stuff too. But I'm hoping to kind of avoid that a little bit by trying to avoid the death spirals and things like that with the difficulty settings. So we'll see kind of how that plays out as we go. But last time I played this game was early access release in 2022 on stream or on my channels. You can take the hat sooner. Often see when redeems wear a hat. Nice. So I think it was around 3 years ago last time that we played this here. And I think what I did when it came out, I think I played it a little bit on YouTube and then was like, no, this is a better stream game.
SMRT. That spells smart.
This is a better stream game. So let's push it off to Twitch. And so we started over then. And so we played like 2, at least partial series. I think I finished it that second time. We played twice within a few months of each other there, and then I haven't featured it ever since. I did play a little bit of Update 1 like 2 years ago now, and I don't remember why it didn't get featured, but it didn't get featured there. If you've watched Captain of Industry for a very long time, you look at a few months ago when it launched. It's still in early access, isn't it? It's like 0.7 or something like that. Yeah, 0.7. But Update 2, I didn't play at all. I don't even remember what was in Update 2. And Update 3, as I mentioned, came out just a bit ago. The major 3 features are trains, space, and asteroids. Oopsie, I just did a bunch of oopsies there. Hold on a second, let me fix my stuff again. So, I have played it a little bit here over the last, a little bit. So I have... You thought it launched? No, it didn't launch. Just Update 3 came out. So I have played it a little bit recently. Like in the last, I don't know, a couple weeks or so. Just to kind of refamiliarize myself. Also to... because I was kind of craving playing it. Which is the other half of the reason why I dropped Microtopia and came to this. So, what I'd like to do is go ahead and start a new game. We're going to play on Dragontail Isle, the newest island, which is long and skinny and good for trains. We are going to get to trains eventually. I don't know how quickly we'll get to trains, but we are going to get to trains eventually. I would like to... my sound just went wonky. Just a second. Okay, it's back. Starting location 3, no. We're going to start at location 1. I am not as crazy as Bold Viking and picking the insane difficulty starting location. And it wasn't just you, it's, yeah, the game sound goes wonky. I don't know, whatever it is. We're also not going to start at the hard location. We're going to start at the easy location. The map has a lot of resources on it, of which, well, I guess you can see where they all are, but it's all scattered in there, so it's not really that worth looking at. Shows resources that are easy to reach, those are not submerged in the ocean. Oh, yeah. So if we dig into the ocean and go 10 tiles or more deep, then we can get even more resources, which we will eventually get to, I think. Not so easy as they are far from each other. Yeah. So we're gonna do starting location 1 here. There's also, you can do your own maps. You can create your own maps, which is something they added. That might have been added in update 1. That might have been what they added then. Maybe that was update 2. No, that was update 2, I think. But either way, update something. They added the ability to custom create maps, and you can also browse the community maps and things down here, which is kind of nice. And also, and then, take a look at what you have downloaded as well. The game difficulty, we're going to play on Sailor. At least default settings will be Sailor, and then we're going to customize those settings in just a moment. I want to do casual, which means belts and storage units don't require electricity. And I want to do resources boost so that we can get infinite stuff from the world mines, so that we don't have to do the asteroids, even though I plan on doing asteroids if we get far enough. Realism, I don't want people dying from starvation. I do want vehicles to move without fuel. Definitely not do realism plus. Ships, yeah, I mean, fuel shouldn't be that big of a problem, but yeah. And then pump stop working parameters are repeated now, but we are going to turn on ore sorting. Because, well, that's kind of an interesting mechanic, even though it adds a little bit of complexity. I think it's worth it to try out, to do. And then world mines have reduced deposits. No, we're going to do the infinite world mines. Thanks. But in customize, there might be something. I went through the settings myself here a bit on my own, and I may or may not have changed one of these things when I was doing this, but I think I left it at this default here, with the Sailor plus the mixed ore sorting, basically. I'm just quickly matching this up against a screenshot that I took. Unless you have input on any of these, I think this is what I'm going to go with. It's fairly easy, but it's gonna be, I want to focus more on the building and the terraforming than struggling through a death spiral of one kind or other. So, yeah, so we're gonna play easy mode. And then we can name our game, which we'll do, I don't know. Wally Dragontail, I guess. And we could randomize the seed, but that only affects the world generation and weather, so it doesn't really affect like the world map itself, not the game map, but the world map, how the different where the different resources spawn at on the world map, and how they're connected to each other. So I think we're just gonna get started. And yeah, the starting resources are kind of far from each other in the easy site, but it's a fairly flat area, and once we get through all the trees, it's actually not that bad, and it'll give us plenty of room to start building. It's a fairly flat area, so we don't have to worry about doing too much terraforming too fast, even though we will. So I would like to terraform to where I have all the islands connected, and we're going to get a bunch of these messages, but I'm going to ignore them. I'm also going to pause, because we can't zoom out all the way, but if we go here to one end of the world, and then we go all the way to the other end of the world, it's a big-ass map. So I'd like to flatten it. I'd like to take all the mountains down and put them all into the ocean. So that's one of the things that I'd like to do. Whether we get that far or not, I don't know. But I would like to level this all at like this height, which I think is height 4, right? I can't even do that yet. We'll find that out later, but I'm pretty sure height 4 is the starting height here, and that's what we'll want. So we get a couple of goals to start with. I did take a look at a couple of things in the tutorial here. There are a handful of techs in the tech tree that are not suggested. I like big maps, and I cannot lie. So as we get to those, or as I want to rush them, I have them marked. As I get to those or want to rush them, I will just go ahead and throw those in. The first one, of course, being tools, which we'll get to as soon as we kind of can. Actually, I think we can do it now. I'm going to go ahead and do it now, just because these give us so many useful tools. Actually, I can't do it now because I don't have a lab, but we'll leave it queued first, and then we'll do that as soon as we can. So the first thing we need to do, according to this, is start producing iron. In order to start producing iron, we need coal. So we need a coal maker, which I think is here. I'm just going to put it down. It takes in wood and spits out coal. And then we also need to have a smokestack here connected to it. If you haven't seen this played before, there are 3 different types of connectors. 4 different types of connectors, although one is only rarely used. This one is using pipes, which you can not use a pipe here. But if you wanted to use a pipe there, you could put a piece of pipe in there too. And it's blue, which means it's already ready to build. So I'm going to unpause and let the trucks gather up the materials here and go and build that thing. And then they'll feed in wood, which we have. I'm going to also move these windows over to the side here, which we have not actually any wood. What that means we need to have a tree harvester and 2 trucks assigned to it, like that. And then we need to start harvesting trees, which there is a choice here, or we can press H for the shortcut key, and we'll just start chopping trees, because trees are heretical, so we press H. And what will happen there is the tree harvester will go out and chop down the trees. Alright, so that's this one, and then we need to produce 8 coal, which we'll get from the trees, and then we can work on these other things, although we can actually start working on them now. Smelting, we want a blast furnace, a metal caster, and a smokestack. So the blast furnace is here. I'm just going to put it there. It takes inputs of, right now, iron scrap. We can also change recipes later, but right now, iron scrap and coal to produce molten iron and exhaust. Do you have any blueprints yet? No, I can't do any copy pasting or anything. So they're building that, which is great. And then we need to build a metal caster, which we can build smacked up against that, but to connect the molten iron to that. But this produces 24 molten iron, and this only consumes 12, so we don't want to do that. Plus, we need to deal with the exhaust coming out here, which we will need a smokestack for, so we'll do that real quick. And then what I want to do here is rotate this around to, like, this point. And then I also want to flip it like this. F to flip. There's a bunch of nice tools here. Rotate is R. Get out of the way. F to flip. And then we can hold shift to place them down multiples, which I didn't do. Do I have any saved ones? No, I don't. I will build everything from scratch. Control is to reset the configuration when you paste, and then if you need to slope things, which we can't do with buildings, but you can use those 2 buttons there. And so then this is blasting, which is complaining about something. I don't know what. That needs transport, yeah, molten iron. We're working on it. Be patient. And that takes molten channels. So I'm going to take a molten channel here. I'm going to take a molten channel here. Even though I could do it with 1, I'm going to do it with 2. There we go. But no, I don't really, I mean, I want to build everything from scratch because I want to kind of demonstrate and talk about everything. I don't want to just stamp things down. I could go get blueprints from another save, but I'm going to avoid doing that because I don't like using blueprints just to use blueprints, I guess. So here we have an abandoned communication station that had some iron scrap and some concrete slabs in it, which we are using. Chat is bopping over there. Yeah, it is. And over here we have a bunch of crap in our shipyard, which we need to get used and or stored elsewhere. So we're producing iron. We made 8 already. We'll make 8 more in just a moment. And we're getting that from the iron scrap from here. Could speed the game up too, I suppose. We also need to build a farm on fertile ground, which I'm going to build down here, I think. I'll end up moving it once we get rid of some of these damn trees, but I'm going to build it down here for now. and then we can go from there. So food production, farm, and let's turn that around. X, welcome in. 3 a.m. Can't sleep. There's Wally live streaming. Hello. All right, and dumping waste tutorial pops up. We finished the iron production, so we can clear that and get some extra stuff out of the deal. We're working on our food production now, and then we need to work on construction parts and waste dumping. And that's going to be actually a bit of a problem because we need to have, a waste module attached. So let's do that one real quick first. That's here, and I'm going to put it on this spot here. Literally afternoon, but you're sleepy too, need a nap, but yeah. So we'll build the waste thingy. Because it's a quick and easy one to do. We also need to designate a dumping zone for waste. Now, some people will dump their waste into the ocean. Not necessarily a nice thing to do. We've never seen this game. It is a factory game with some colony management aspects to it. So a little bit of Factorio meets Anno, maybe. We largely are a factory where we have to, smelt the iron and the copper and all the things. But also we need to keep our colonists that are living in these houses happy. So we do that by feeding them in a bunch of stuff, potatoes for one. We need to provide them water later. We need to take the waste out of the settlement by using this waste collection thing that's being built right now. And all those things are handled by the factory itself. So like we're gonna grow potatoes here at the farm, and then later we'll get more stuff to go. And it does have fairly complex production lines, yes. So that is this, and we need a dumping zone for waste, right? So dumping designation here. Now I'm just going to do this one kind of simple, lazy, just by going with a hill here like that for now. And that I want, like in 1910 to 1940. That I want to look for something real quick again, which I can't remember exactly where it is. I always have to go and look. Here it is. So this setting here is the default of what can be dumped by trucks in the world without a mining designation. For now, I'm going to leave that set to all 4 of those things, and they'll all get dumped in this one pile here, because we're going to sort through this pile anyways. So when we get to that pile, then all those things will get separated. But yeah, so we'll get that going, and then we can look at something else. We need to start power production by building a diesel generator and then building a research lab basic. Power production, diesel generator. I want to set this up here. Kind of planning a little bit for later. It's building industries, you're just being coy. I'm going to put that there, which I'll talk about why later when I actually get that far. Alright, here they come. Let's go to speed 2, because speed 1's a little bit... and so one of the tasks here for waste dumping is dumping waste, which will just happen when it happens. It doesn't take long, because we have 18 already. They'll come and get the 20 when it gets to 20. These trucks carry up to 20 items apiece, and they will kind of wait and try to fill themselves, or get a full load before they do their things, but not exclusively. Alright, so that's going, and now we need a research lab. That's in here. Yeah. And for this one, I'm just going to put this down here somewhere too. We're going to move it a few times later anyways. So we'll just put it there for now. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and do... we can claim the waste dumping. Task complete. We're waiting for a harvest of potatoes, which will be done in a little bit, although we are waiting for water or rain. It needs to rain a little bit. And then we need to do researches. Get those done in just a minute. Food production finished. We can collect the potatoes. And then I'm researching that tools right now because, well, I want it. But then the game wants us to research construction and trading docks. We'll do those. Construction's over here. Trading docks right here. and we'll just kind of, we get these ones here checked by default. We'll just do those as soon as we get tools done. Because tools, like I said, is the first one that isn't part of the tutorial, so we're gonna just do it quickly, firstly. Each thing, and so you can see down here that added a bunch of buttons, which right now, most of the things actually I'll do via the shortcut keys, kind of common ones. C for copy, X for cut, V for copy settings, U for the Unity tool, which we'll talk about later, P for the pause tool, I to upgrade or downgrade, so I could say I for improve, and then we have Control U for remove debris, which is like these rocks and stuff. Bushes also are debris, and delete for demolish. We also have a layers button here and a B for planning mode, which I'm going to turn on right away. And what that will do is allow me to design a blueprint and then unpause the design in order to build the thing. We'll do that pretty much the entire time, just because I like to fiddle with things before I actually let the game build them. We do have, if you notice when I did all the settings, we do have 100%, where's it at? Full refund? Yeah, deconstruction refund is at full refund. That means that I can tear things down without losing the materials or spending the materials made they took to build. So we can build and rebuild at will, but I still like to have the blueprint mode on so that I can fiddle with things. But yeah, the builds get a little bit complex at some point, so we'll definitely want to have extra stuff. All right, construction research just finished, and now we can build the assembly, which just unlocked with that research. That also gave us a couple other things: recipe for construction parts, recipe for mechanical parts, and a recipe for electronics, all made in that assembly one. Assembly one, because there's at least 4 of them, maybe 5 of them eventually. We're just going to put this down temporarily as well. Just put one right there. You can see now this, after I place it, is white or grayish, and that's a not ready for building blueprint. And so I'm going to unpause that with the pause button, and it'll go to blue, which means they can start building it. You saw the trucks took off and started working on that. We have 3 recipes to choose from here, which we looked at already, and the game's going to tell us which one it wants us to make first, which is going to be construction parts, I suspect. Yes, it's going to be construction parts. So we want to do that one, and that's going to need iron plates, wood, and concrete slabs. The slabs are coming from here, the iron is coming from here, and the wood is coming from the trucks assigned to this tree harvester, at the moment at least. So we'll start making these construction parts. The game defaults to a per 60 per minute production, so you can easily see a normalized production time and a production usage. But the real recipe is 40 seconds long. So every 40 seconds we make 4 construction parts out of 3, and 4 of those items. But it's 6 per 60 seconds, and that's 4.5, 4.5, and 6, of course. That's math. Construction parts is done. Great. Grading dock got researched, and now we can also research maintenance per the next thingy. You're making construction parts, right? The trading dock is used later. Where's that at? Over here? Yeah, there it is. Is used later for making trades. You can make different kinds of deals with it. I think it'll fit down here. Yeah, but I think I want to put it up here for reasons that will not be apparent for a while, I think. So build that. And it's gonna, I think the game makes us do 1 trade, which is fine. I don't do the trades for as long as reasonable. Maybe I should, but I'd like to make all the stuff myself. We need to make another assembly to produce mechanical parts eventually anyway, so I'm going to do that. And we'll hold down the control so that it doesn't keep the recipe setting on that building. And instead, I can pick my own new recipe mechanical parts. And we also need to build a basic maintenance depot, which I thought was in buildings, but is it over here? Yeah, it's over here. We'll build that as well. And again, I'm just going to put it here, kind of out of the way. And you need mechanical parts and electronics. We do have some of each of those in here. Actually, what I want to do is keep empty so that it uses this priority here to select when trucks are remove things. And so instead of the trucks using the mechanical parts here and the construction parts here, I'd rather they use the ones that are stored here as well as the electronics in just a moment, so that we can get this thing emptied out, because it's overloaded with cargo, and that's not a good thing. So, yeah. And they're still working. This is full. Each of these slots has a storage in it, basically. So this will take in 48 wood, and it'll store 40 coal. Finish the maintenance task there. We need to purchase concrete slab for iron from the village on the world map. So if we go here and we do trade with the village, this village here we know about. There are neighbors, and we can purchase concrete slabs for iron. By doing this, it costs unity, which is this purple resource. We have it up here. We currently have 36 unity stored, and we're earning it at a rate of almost 2 per minute. So we're going to do this thing just to satisfy that, and then probably not to touch the thing. But unity is kind of like a universal resource, where you can spend it for... You can earn it by keeping your people happy. That's actually listed here. Growth, health, and unity. And you can spend it to do things faster. Can you build roads? Yes, you can. That was added in update 2. My banner is cutting off the info on the top. What if we use this overlay instead? That's better. But also, let's move this down a bit. I have that overlay specifically for games that have a top banner of information, and Age of Empires is one of them, and I just forgot that I wanted to use that. So back to whatever we were doing. We need to research iron mining, or vehicles and mining rather. So let's go back into the research menu. Vehicles and mining is here. I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then I think I also want to queue up... No, not yet. Okay, not yet. So, vehicles and mining. What that will give us is a vehicle depot and the ability to make excavators, pickups, and tree harvesters, as well as this mine control tower, which will be a big deal. And then, which I use a lot of, and then storage for loose items, as well as an ore sorting plant. It is quiet over there on Twitch. People just like to watch and not chat. That's fine with me. While we're waiting on that to research, let me press L, and I need to move my chat box. Or I'm just going to hide it for a second. Thanks for the poke.
Poke. Is that all you do?
Is that all you do? L is for overlays. Layovers, maybe. Terrain grid turns on and off this terrain grid, which is super useful. Mining and dumping, which is what we're going to actually be doing right now or in a moment. Tree harvesting, you can see the trees that I marked for harvesting are marked there. We can show and hide that selection. And then zones are something we'll get later, and I'll talk about those then. But also we can see what resources are on the map. So we have iron ore. That's the red one, and you can see it there. And you can also see it over, where the heck is it? Over here's some, and I think there's some over here as well, yes. And coal is kind of a dark brown, which you can see there's our initial coal patch. We also have crude oil right here. There's groundwater right there. A wee bit, because the clouds. I am the captain now. We have limestone over here, and the sand down here. And then the other starting resource is copper, which we have over there. So we do have to move around a little bit to collect these resources, but that's okay. So with that, I will put the chat box back on, and I'm going to turn off the mining and dumping overlay, by the way. Oh yeah, you can see that right there. Because I like being able to turn on this and not see those, and if I want to see those, then I hit one of the mining and dumping function keys. So we just unlocked mining and vehicles, and so now we need to build a vehicle depot, which is in vehicles menu here, logistics menu that is. Build that right in here also. How you doing, Batman? And that, and then we need to construct excavators and pickups, so we'll do that as soon as that comes around. Processing iron ore. We need to enable a new recipe here on the blast furnace for processing iron ore instead of just iron scrap, plus coal to make the same amount of molten iron and a little bit more exhaust and some slag. So we're going to enable that, and you can have as many ore seed recipes selected as you want, and then you can re-drag them. You can reorder them by dragging them around. And I always like to have the scrap recipe first. That way the scrap is used before we use fresh iron ore, because A, I don't want the scrap laying around, but also B, it uses less coal and it produces less waste products. So yeah. So we need to build a mine control tower near an iron ore deposit. Assign a small excavator and 2 pickups to it, which means we need to make the excavator. Click on it to make it, and 2 pickups. They go here in the queue. They require a few materials, some vehicle parts, which we do have some in the storage there, plus some iron and some diesel. And there's diesel in there as well. Vehicle parts are here. So let's build that mine control tower then. That's in here, mine control tower, and here's the iron. I'm going to build this quite a bit away because reasons. Maybe right in there someplace will be all right. We'll see. And then once that's built, we'll, and this excavator is built, we'll assign that to that. You can see here we've started piling up some of that trash, and it'll pile up a little bit for a little bit longer. We could dump it into the ocean, but I'm just only doing it. Plus we can kind of use it later, so I'll keep it. Spoiler alert. Excavator got done. See that right in there. If I had been paying attention, we could have seen it pull out of the vehicles bay, but I'm going to assign 1 excavator and 2 of our trucks to here. At this point, I don't want anything being dumped here now. I'll leave this notify if cannot dispose on, but we need to mark this. So M for mine, and I want to just do a little bit of a starting area here, like that. This is, as I mentioned, height 4. And so what's going to happen is this excavator is going to level this area, basically, all down to height 4 from its 3-dimensional state. Now, one of the things that's really cool about... Oh, actually, let's do one other thing. Let's go with iron ore as your priority here. And that way you will go to a spot where the iron ore exists and try to mine there instead of mining someplace else. And you can see it scoops the earth directly, or scoops stuff directly out of the earth. And it actually is adjusting or terraforming the land. If you haven't seen this before, that is one of the really cool features. We need to build an ore sorting plant. I did know that. I was waiting. Which I will build. Should be fine. Build it there. Because we have ore sorting turned on, these trucks cannot do anything with these materials because it's mixed. They have to go to an ore sorting plant to sort them. Aptly named. That's where most of your trucks move. Yeah. Alright, so they've dumped some stuff in there, and it's sorting now. One of the things that annoys me is that it auto-selects the things in whatever order it feels like. And so what I want to do is resort these because I like resorting them. And I want to put dirt in there as the third item because I'm weird like that. I do not want an output of the dirt there. I want iron ore and then rock and then dirt going into these output ports, which map to these 4 ports here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And so we can put storages connected to those, or belts connected to those, however we want to do it. And we can feed the items out. So we need to process 24 iron ore, which means we need to actually switch this up. Otherwise, I don't think it works. And then we need to do some other stuff. So let's collect this reward for iron ore mining, and let's research beacon, which is here. Yeah, that's fine. Still gonna stick with what the tutorial is telling me. And let's see. We can also do this stockpile products. Let's build another assembly to produce construction parts. It's this one here. Yeah, so it wants us to make another one of those. I'm just going to use C to clone it and then just place it as is because it'll keep that recipe. You can do multiple recipes in these and have like the same assembly machine making all the things, but I don't like doing that. And we need to build some storages. So those are here. We have unlocked loose storage and unit storage. You can see there the list of supported products. Good, they're not behind my fat head. But if you kind of think about what something looks like, you can kind of guess as to what type of storage it takes. So I want to put in the iron storage here. And we'll set it to iron. And that means that the trucks should come over here and grab any iron that's left in this and take it immediately over to there. Which there isn't any, so that's fine. And then they'll start unloading the iron from here and putting it into here. Which means that we can have just a little bit of a buffer built up of iron, which you can see over here how much iron we have in storage. Just super nice. The game wants us to dump slag, which they should just dump up here with the waste and things. Also, any dirt that we scooped out of here or rock as we've been mining has gone up here as well, which is fine. Like I said, we're going to sort through that and dig through it anyways, and sort it all out and use it for something else. So that'll be fine later. We need to build a beacon next. That's in buildings, and here I just like to stick this over here next to the shipyard. It's fine. And we also need to build housing attached to the existing settlement. So I'm just going to do C to copy. So housing, you want to make sure it snaps to the existing grid. If you don't, then you'll have a separate settlement. And then you have to have all separate services for that separate settlement. So I'm just going to snap this one right in there. And we'll let them build that as well. And we're also, so that what the beacon does is every, however often, I think it's always 3 months, maybe not. It summons in a group of villagers, 14 in this case. I think it does increase over time. And then eventually there are none left, but this brings in people. And you'll also need more food, yes, but I do have right now a problem. We have, or not a problem, but a good problem to have, which is we have more potatoes than we know what to do with. So, yeah, we're okay right now. I need to move this though, eventually. And we also need to build a unit storage for construction parts. I'm going to put that in right here someplace. Let's just do it like that. And let's do construction parts for that. Unpause. Time to make cheap vodka. Yes. No vodka, though. There are construction parts here in storage, and so that means they will probably deliver them all there from here before they deliver from here, but maybe not. Who knows? Next research is basic concrete. So let's go ahead and queue that up. That's here. New refugees. We click on that alert that comes up. It tells us we have 14 people and a bunch of loot. Hooray. Those alerts are here in this, no, this is, well, maybe it is, but these are also tutorials, which I'm going to just clean sweep. We also have this here, which is goals, which is what we're working on. We can collect the population growth and stockpile products goals. Then we also finally have alerts here, which I do like to keep visible, and I'm going to pin them, I think. And that's just telling me at the moment that, well, we're not using all the potatoes that we have. But we're going to keep that out so we can see both of these things until the goals are done, which we'll almost certainly get through tonight. So we're researching basic concrete. We can also research basic diesel, which is down here. After basic diesel, I want to go ahead and do ramps for vehicles. Those are not part of the tutorial, so I want to just get them out of the way. Vodka. And let's go ahead and move this as well, although I did build these a little bit close. We'll move them around later. But I can move the potatoes thing over here. And I can tell them to stop delivering to this one, which you do by clicking this icon until you get the trucks cannot import cargo, red, no importy thingy there. And I'm moving this so that I can square this off. Yeah. So they'll bring in a bunch of potatoes here. We'll eventually eat through these potatoes here. And then I can delete this one. I could delete it now, and the potatoes that were in here would go to a storage if we had one, or they will go to the shipyard if we don't. So we could just delete it. And I probably will, but I'm going to let them do this first, I think. Basic concrete's just about done already. I could add some more research buildings into, and eventually we'll want to add more. I may only ever have 2, but maybe like 3 or 4. Is calamari a thing in Captain Industry? No, there's no tentacles. There's no sushi. There's no fish at all, actually. Concrete just finished. So we have that. We also got some refugees, so we can take a look at what we brought with them, or they brought with them. A bunch of stuff mostly there, and we can... Oh, this. Okay. Boo. Yes. Establish a limestone mine and start mining limestone. Alright, well, limestone we know is over here. If we don't know that, we can always go back to our overlays and take a look. But let's go to the mining thingy and put down a mining control tower. There. And then we will need to have another excavator and a couple more trucks for it. One of the things that I would like to do is out here kind of far enough away. I guess this will do. Just put down a couple of these boxes. Set them to wood. And let the tree harvester just fill them up. That way we get rid of some of these damn trees. Because I want to clear all the trees off at this initial landmass here. Or initial level of this initial landmass here. What I also want to do is put one of these down over here. And go like that, I think. And what I want this to do is to control the dumping of resources here on the in this pile, and then I want to disable this universal dumping here, because that just gets messy. I like to control it better. This refugees got more stuff. And basic diesel just unlocked, which we'll get to in just a minute. Health and pollution tutorial, we won't worry about that right now. Alright, so this got done, and they're going to dump that there, which means that I can go in here now and remove all these things so that they cannot dump anything outside of one of these zones. Did that get done? Yes, yes, and yes. And then we'll come out here and we will mine into the limestone a bit. And I want to find you and set you up to be priority on limestone. Next, we need to build a kiln connected to a rainwater harvester. I also will want to put in another one of these at some point, so we might as well go ahead and do it now. Maybe like this. Let me pause for just a moment. I want you to sort limestone, rock, dirt, limestone, rock, and dirt. Marshall, welcome in. Let's build that kiln, though. Where's the kiln? It's not there. Here? There it is. Put that in here. Then we need a rainwater harvester, which is, well, exactly what it says. It's just a giant tarp that catches the rain and stores it in a little tank here. And we can feed it into a pipe then, like this. And that way it will feed the water into the kiln. And then the kiln will also get limestone and coal delivered to it by the trucks. And then we'll have some concrete slabs getting made. Now, of course, we don't really need those yet because we still have 24 here and we have 788 here, but that's okay. Oh, I forgot. I need to switch that back. Long time ago. But this can make 8 concrete slabs. I make 8 in one recipe. We just need the materials. It'll be fine. Can I mark these trees? No, let's go ahead and mark these trees here, these trees here. And I just want that tree harvester to go crazy. Build that box up, and then we'll see what happens. More people, more stuff. I want to be careful with this because it will still keep bringing in people, even when we have all the housing filled. So I don't want them to do that, so we need to keep an eye on it a little bit. Okay. Pipes and conveyor belts, I'm kind of talking through. Health and pollution isn't going to be so much of an issue here because of the settings we chose. Okay. So we're going to let that do itself. We're going to go take a look at this oil one now. Or diesel one now. Back in the overlays, the crude oil comes from here. Now, liquid resources work different from solid resources. That includes water. I guess that's it. Those are the only 2 liquids. Instead of you having to mine the direct pieces of the tile to get the items, these you place the extractor, whether it's a water pump or a oil pump, on anywhere in the resource coverage, and it'll extract from the entire coverage, entire zone equally. So we need to build 2 oil pumps and an oil deposit and connect them to a basic distiller. We have a whole crude oil refining section here because this is actually one of the major pieces of the game. And what I want to do is just put them kind of here, maybe near the edge. Let's do a shift. I'm going to flip the other one, put it like this. And then we can do a pipe that comes from there into the oil distiller. Like this. Yeah, like that. You go there. One of the cool things at some point along the way they added is if you build a pipe between 2 outputs like this, it'll automatically put in a pipe connector, usually, instead of you having to do some shenanigans yourself. Back in RTM, Update 0, the original early access release. Oh, we need an output to exhaust. Right, I forgot about that on that kiln. Trucks can't carry exhaust, so you have to put smokestack whenever you have exhaust, or have to put something. We'll get into some things later. So that means we need another one here too. The original release didn't do this, and it was a hassle to get this to work automatically because you also couldn't just place them. But now it's a lot easier because it does things automatically. So this will take in crude oil and coal and make diesel, which is we're using for all the trucks. Whether you noticed or not, all the trucks do have fuel in their tanks, and when they get low, they will go look for more oil. Which I think this tree harvester, or just more diesel, which this tree harvester just did. It came over here because they have 775 in there now. Well, now we have more because they brought some with them. And it keeps coming back here to get fuel whenever it needs it. So we need to have a way to make diesel. And now we can. All right, so that's going. But we also have a byproduct here. We have 2 byproducts. One of those is just exhaust. The other one is wastewater. So for that, we need to use a liquid dump. And that needs to go out here on the coast someplace. Because it's going to dump something into the water. And basically any waste product, at the moment, that's just going to be wastewater. This wastewater dumping produces water pollution, which we have indicated, or we will have indicated here under this health section for our population overview. So vehicles are polluting a little bit. We're getting some air pollution from all the exhaust smokestacks. The one here, now the ones here and here. And then we'll get some water pollution as well when they start dumping this wastewater. Yeah, wastewater. As they are right now. Look at that. Isn't that glorious? Look at that. Beautiful. Sleep is coming back to you. I'm boring you that well. That's good. That's good. Gonna try sleeping? Yeah, please do. I know it's the middle of the night for you, so go back to sleep if you can. So yeah, when they dump things have a color that kind of matches what you expect them to do. Wastewater is a bit more universally used than just this, so it's got a nice poopy color to it. Super nice. We can collect a couple of these rewards now. The next thing up is synthetic rubber. We need to research it though, so let's do that. That's right here. And then after that, we need to research copper refinement. And then, yeah, we can do this while we're doing that. We need to build a storage for diesel connected to the basic distiller. So what I want to do first is build the storage. That's a fluid storage. So we have a unit storage for kind of flat things. We have a loose storage for kind of ores and other kind of raw things. And then we have fluid storage for, well, you guessed it, fluids. I'm going to put that here. I'm going to unpause it, and I actually want them to deliver as much of this into there as they can. Did I win yet? Almost, Iron Ducks. We're almost done with the tutorial. And then we'll connect a pipe there. That'll be even better. Oh, I need to set it to diesel, otherwise they won't deliver it. All right, they should deliver diesel now. One of the cool things here is you'll see this little green bar, and it's filling up. Every time a truck registers that it wants to bring some resource to a storage, it will put that green bar there. It'll also, whenever it wants to pick something up, you'll see it appear the other direction. And that's just them kind of reserving their slot. This is 0.7, update 3. And so, yeah, once we get a little bit further along, hopefully we'll have a 1.0. So this is Dunzo now. Sigh, I know, but I'd rather they get it right. But yeah, I know a lot of people have issues with early access games. Understandable. All right, so that's full. As full as it'll go. So we'll go ahead and connect this pipe up. Like that. Yeah. And then we want to actually disable truck import here because we want it to just come in via the pipe now. So that'll take care of that one. We can collect that. It won't be good. That's still going. Let's go and build these assemblies for electronics and vehicle parts. We do a control. Oops, and another one. We want electronics here and vehicle parts here. Build those, please. Ain't hating, just disappointing. Kicks can. Yes. Yes. It feels weird calling a game early access. It's been out for 3 years. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, Factorio was an early access for on Steam for 5 years or something. Satisfactory was for a good chunk of that too, or about the same amount too. Maybe more, maybe 6 years. No, Factorio was in for longer. Satisfactory was many years, yeah. This thing done yet? No. It's not going to be either. Let's just delete it. They must be eating these potatoes. Let's just delete it, and they'll just unload all the potatoes and move them into here, and that'll be fine. They'll get used. They'll get put into here later. So we finished synthetic rubber research. So now we need to build a rubber maker. Vehicle parts reward there too. Project Zomboys are early access for 14 years. Yuck. That's here and in derivatives. 6 months tops. Yeah, that seems a little, maybe a little short, but I don't disagree with you. How do I want to do this? Maybe like this. We'll just do it like that, I guess. Yeah, let's just do that. And I'll connect this via pipe. Actually, I went too far away. Oh, that's because this has, yeah, this has a funky shape to it. That's fine. Let's put it there. And then I can do pipe here. Maybe. There we go. Let's see. Yeah, that's not early access. That's bullshit. So you can make rubber. You refugees. Got them. We're down to that. Let's go ahead and pause the beacon, which we need to do for here anyway. What that'll do is stop the import of new people. However, we do still have people, I think, being born. Does that tell me here anywhere? Yeah, we get 0.1 people per, or whatever, 0.1% people per month or something. So that's fine. This needs a recipe set. That would be good. We're going to use the coal recipe because we don't have sulfur yet. It means we're going to be producing wastewater, which is not good, but fine. Researching copper. We need to research ship dock repair also, which is here. Yeah, 6 months feels a little short, Graspian, but I get the sentiment. It shouldn't be years and years and years and years. We finished synthetic rubber. Good. $3 days or maybe a week. YouTube until the ad's over? Understand. Alright, copper refinement is done. Now we need to establish a copper mine similar to what we've done with the other mines. Do that over here. And again, put it a bit away. Go ahead and make it so. And do an ore sorting plant out here too. Now, these ore sorting plants are accepting anything, which we need to resolve or rectify. eventually here, but they're behaving okay. They're behaving okay. That's good. Longer than that, it's beta. And then I guess we need to have more vehicles too. And then we're going to need to do something similar to this, but for copper. I want to put that all the way over here anyway. Hit control so that it doesn't take the recipes. We have copper scrap and copper ore. Copper scrap is a nice coppery color. Copper ore is green. Copper scrap should probably be green too. But then we need that, which gives us the molten copper. That is also available here to use. So we do this next. Same thing we did before. We do control. Oops, that one got shifted. Move it. There. And we still need another smokestack here. We need to have a thing running here and another thing running there. And this will make impure copper, which means we need to do copper electrolysis in order to make it into copper, actually usable copper. So we do that. Here with copper electrolysis. Now this makes 24. These each make 12 into 12. So now we have 24 impure copper. That's what this takes. So we'll feed that all into this eventually. We don't have belts yet, so we can't feed it in, but that. And then that's going to need some water, so we'll put up a rainwater harvester, and that way we have all the things there. That'll do. Run the pipe and do the thing there. Make it so. The trucks will have to move the impure copper from here to here for a little while. Notice that the impure copper has some loss to it. So for every 24 impure copper we electrolyze, we only get 19.5 copper out of it. Not all copper is made equally, according to some old Sumerian merchants. Yeah, we lose about, whatever that is there, 20, 30%. Almost 20%. This will catch rainwater, as it's doing over here for this, and it'll get used in making copper. Now, of course, we still have a crap ton of copper in here, so it doesn't really do us a whole lot of good. But that's okay, because we have time. You, my friend, need to accept copper, and rock, and dirt. And we need to have that excavator and a couple of trucks. And then we need to dig into the copper here, which I will do like that, I guess. Start with. Where'd you go? Excavator? There you are. Focus on copper ore, please. I did set you to focus too, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Right. You need fuel. It hasn't had me do the fuel thing yet, apparently. Alright. So we did research the ship dock repair, but now we need to repair the shipyard. This is going to cost us 100 construction parts, and we have 89 in storage. Which means that, well, we need to make some more, which we are chugging away at. Slowly, but chugging. They'll just deliver those items here, and once they all get here, the ship dock will repair. And then it's usable. I'm going to turn this off too on these. That way, they won't basically won't accept other items, which I think would be best. All right, we have established a copper ore mine. We should hopefully be mining copper at some point here, but they might have to dig through some of this dirt before we can get that far. How bad is this pile looking? Yeah, we're gonna have to build this pile a bit bigger than 2. Bend that up another 4 layers. Probably widen it as well. That way they have plenty of room to dump all their crap. Alright, this got finished. We now need to fill the ship with diesel, which is why I did what I did here. I would like to put in a fluid storage here. Set it for diesel. And then put in a pipe. Goes there. To not only keep the diesel generator running, but to also keep the shipyard filled when it needs to be filled. We can, let's see. How do we fuel for the ship? I guess we got to do that. Although, we should. It's got fuel. Okay, there it's got fuel. And then we need to load crew into the ship. And it takes 15 crew. That comes out of our population. So make sure you have the people before you do the thing. And then we can explore a world map location with the ship. And I'll do that with press tab to get to the world map. And you can pick any of the question marks to go to. I'll just go ahead and do this one. And explore. 196 kilometers away from the island. The ship will zoom its way there. I love how it pulls the e-brake there and spins around. Kind of neat. So, kind of effectively weirdly, all of this stuff is like in these warehouses. The fuel needs to go into these tanks, which isn't actually where it's at when it's here. That's this down here. So what we're effectively doing is taking fuel from here, putting it into here, and then piping it into here. Put it in there. Which is kind of weird, but that's the way that it is. Let's go back to world map. We're almost there. Explorations in progress. Up here, I forgot about this. Fleet status. Exploring. Alright, location explored. Our ship has discovered an oil rig. We can now do ocean drilling, which means that we can get oil from out here in this, what's effectively a mine. We also got some loot, which is nice. And we can continue exploring with our ship further along if we want. Eventually we run out of distance that we can explore. I'm going to go ahead and do one of these out here. Let the ship move on. Eventually the ship will run out of fuel distance. And we'll need to, we can travel 1,272 kilometers, which is here behind my fat head, kind of. That's how much fuel we have remaining. And once it gets to the point where it can get back, but just barely, it will automatically return home. Let's see. We can collect that one. We're still working on collecting copper ore. That's fine. You can keep digging. It'll take a little bit of time, but that's okay. Let's take a look at this, which is refugees that we got at some point along the way, and our diesel production, which we got at some point along the way. I also want to go through these completed researches. I want to clear the ones that we have definitely completely used, and not clear the ones we have not completely used yet. That way it reminds me to come back later and do those things. So trading dock and unit storage, we've used both of those. Maintenance and maintenance 1, we used those. Vehicles depot and those 3 things. We didn't make another tree harvester yet. I don't know if or when I will. but we'll do that. We did use the beacon. We have done the concrete slab, the kiln, and the rainwater harvester. We have done basic distilling. We've used all of those items. Ramps we haven't used yet. I'll leave it there, I guess. Rubber maker, we're going. Copper refinement we got going. And the shipyard is repaired. Kind of did all the things here. Let's see. You are on the move back. Right. We did also get more location exploration. We discovered wheat seeds there. And also got some of these things. Alright, come on, copper. The excavator. Oh, it's probably went back to get fuel, didn't it? Where you at? There you are. Yeah, it's on its way back here to get more fuel. Or here to get fuel. They will fuel up anywhere there's fuel stored. I think this has to be on, but I'm not. Don't quote me on that. But they will fuel up where there's fuel stored. So having fuel stored around the island in different places is not a bad plan. But there's more to do with fuel refueling a little bit later. So we'll look at that when that comes. When it comes up. The ship came back and docked itself in. It has all those things we picked up, and it cannot unload them because the shipyard is overloaded with cargo. So we have to keep kind of working our way through these things. Please tell me you're using the potatoes out of here and not the ones out of here. But that doesn't mean we can't make our ship go out and do more exploration. So let's go do some more exploring. Alright, good. You're back. Hopefully you can get some copper this time. Looks like you found the copper, so shouldn't be too much dirt. Probably. As you load up the truck with dirt. Great. Copper, please. There's copper right there. You can just go get it. There's some copper. Good. You only see dirt. They don't have topological glasses. There's a big scoop of copper now. Good. Get yourself a big old scoop. So this is like, you can see the copper on the surface. Like, they should be able to just collect that. Know what they're collecting. All right, we collected all the copper we needed. This truck, a truck should come here and pick up. Oh, we gotta wait for this truck to deliver that huge glut of copper. There we go. Looks like tapioca. Yeah. Yum. So now a truck should come and pick up 20 of this copper and deliver it here, where we will turn it into copper plates eventually. We did another exploration here. Got some more stuff. Let's just go ahead and continue on and explore another place. Somebody come and pick up this copper. Wait a minute. That's fine. Oh, somebody did. Okay, good. Alright, so we just produced 24. No, we probably just produced 8 molten. Or 16. Looks like we did 16. Alright, there's 8 more for you. And that should mean that you can now craft that and this, which means 24 impure copper. Which should get us 19.5 copper. The trucks have to do the deliveries. Delivery. Oh, combat. This is Our ship has no weapons, has no armor. So we basically ran away from the battle because, we can't do anything in battle yet. It is what it is. Okay, somebody come and transfer that Impure over, please. Somebody come and have some Impure thoughts. Need belts. They're gonna wait until there's 20 in each one. Or, yeah. Well, maybe they grab the 16. It looks like they grabbed that 16. It was in there. That's fine. That'll make... Was it 13? That'll make 13. It's fine. Collect that. We win. Now we need to research construction 2, which is here, all the way over here. I thought Captain's office was one that we were told to do. Maybe we still haven't gotten there yet, tutorial-wise. Hope so, because, yeah. Construction 2, though. Let's go ahead and start that one up. Meanwhile, let's go ahead and build a coal mine and start mining coal so that we don't have to keep turning wood into charcoal, wherever that was at. Here. So another mining tower. Another ore sorting plant here, nearby somewhere. And we'll do coal, we'll do rock, and we'll do dirt. And then let's also do a mark for the mining here, and let's go in like this, because this area looks like it's got coal in it. Like that too. Yeah, let's do it like that, because this is a little bit weaker. Cool, yes. Vehicles. There it is. One of the things I really like about the grid in this game is you have these little squares, and each grid marking, whether it's mining marking or dumping marking, covers a 4x4 area. Potato will dry out due to lack of water. Oof. Just raining now, those. That's fine. And then the next kind of darker grid line there is 4x4 of those, or 16x16 of these. Then you zoom out a little bit more and you get an even bigger, darker grid line, and that is 8 of these by 8 of these. And so you can see all of those. There's also grid lines vertically. So we're at level 4 right now. You see that each of the levels here is represented by one of these kind of medium bold lines. There are 4 lines or 4 height marks within each level, and then this is level 5, level 6, level 7, on up to level 16, which is the next bold line, and then 32. And so there are 4 lights. Yes, there are 4 lights. You should be taking in the coal. Please take in the coal. Oh, they probably haven't filled up the bucket yet. Yeah, they haven't filled up the truck yet. We've already mined 7. You know what? What? Chicken butt? Back in a few? Alrighty. This. More trees. Marked.
Make it so.
Make it so. Alright. Page 199. That's almost the end. Page 199 is a picture. So page 198. Spock, in your own way, you are as stubborn as another captain of the Enterprise I once knew. Hard. Then I am in good company, sir. Unification Part 2, Star Trek The Next Generation, Season 5, Episode 8. Here's the picture. Spock is mind melding with Captain Picard. That's it. The wisdom of Picard. Done a great job with the XYZ functionality. Yes, they have. What a great show. Exactly. It's the best even. So now that we have coal mining going, we can pause the coal maker, as the game is telling us to do. And that means that we will no longer be turning wood into coal, which is fine because we are now mining coal out of the ground. Tell a dad joke. Why do bananas wear sunscreen? Like this mining coal reward here, and now we have construction 2, which is still being researched. Why do bananas wear sunscreen? To keep their appeal? Close. Because they peel. Hydrate. Just Captain, welcome in. We're down to just a little bit of hydro left here. Which could be problematic. I may need to go to avoid peeling if I had a second shot at the punchline. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You definitely could have some variance there on that one. See, a nerd shirt alert. Today's nerd shirt is channel gear. Okay, this looks like it's full already. Just about close enough too. So I'm going to do this and duplicate it. Let the tree harvesters just keep going. Let's sigh. Not a very appealing dad joke. Yep. Still complaining about the potatoes. Yeah, I know. We've got lots of potatoes. Still trying to use these first. Alright, construction 2 is just about finished. Add storage to the farm? I could. You're right. Actually, maybe I should even. Or I could add storage to the input here too, which I have done in the past. Let's do that. Which will be potatoes. And have the trucks keep it full. Or both. That's true too. And we could do this one, but I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to actually go ahead and build it right there. It'll be fine. Do control, that way it gets set automatically when the items feed out. And, yeah. Well, you did pick the potatoes up from here. Use these first. Jerks. Alright, we finished construction 2, so now we need to build another assembly machine. With construction parts 2 as the recipe. This one here. They take construction parts 1 plus electronics. Go ahead and feed those in. You get a storage in. You get a storage. Yeah. Once I have belts, I will do a lot more of that. You should be unloading this now. In theory. Yeah, it looks like you are. This just about got full real quick, fast, and in a hurry. But this gives us the ability to have a little bit more of a buffer. Up here, this is telling us we have 57 months of food left. Now, that number's only counting what's in these market buildings. Does not count what's in storage or what's in the farms itself. So, yeah. Let's see. You're thinking about playing the third and boil them? Yeah, we gotta peel them first. Third installment of Jedi games where they kill off Merrin. I'm going to ask for a refund. Cal and Merrin need to have Force-sensitive kids and fly off to a peaceful life. Kaliner doesn't want to have any Force-sensitive kids with Merrin? That seems suspect. That seems suspect. Welcome in, though, Kalidar. I know, Kalidar, that one of your highest priorities in life is to have kids with women. Uh-huh. Producing construction parts now. We've got to produce 8 of them. The machine produces 4 at a time, and we're going to get the other 4 out right now. Especially one with green fire and ice. Well, that would seem to be high on your list. If anything, that would make it a higher likelihood. Alright, we finished that one. So now we need to research conveyor belts and fuel station. But I'm going to go get some water while that is happening. So I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Luckily, the fridge is only a few yards or meters. Doesn't really matter, it's one you use. That way. Let's see. You always see the main couple of Star Wars material get separated in some way. It's a happy ending or bust. I think it's always bust, isn't it? You do like the Avatar? Yeah, that was an awesome drawing by Pedro. Like, I basically asked for that, but it really actually exceeded my expectations. You watch an old stream? Nope, not Peps. Pedro, General Pedro. Close, yes. He doesn't stream anymore. I don't know. I've kind of, at least I'm not on Twitch. I've kind of not paid super close attention to what he's been up to lately, but yeah, I haven't seen him on the Twitches in a while, at least. We could send our ship back out again. That might be good. So we can't go any further here. We found a ship that we have to battle, so we just kind of have to wait. Not a whole lot we can do about that. General Pedro, yes. I don't think I have a command for him. But if I had one, it would be linking to his Twitch that, like I said, he hasn't streamed in a while. Or Twitch has unfollowed him on my account, which also wouldn't be a surprise because they seem to like to do that. Annoyingly. They are linked to him by attribution, you're right. Yep. So if you follow the attribution part on the emote in Twitch, you will you'll get linked to him. That is correct. Still need to keep eating through this damn communication station. Mine control towers, no designations. Alright, that means we need to mine more coal. Go ahead and clear this spot out here. And then let's show me the overlay again. Yeah, you can just keep going this way, that's fine. That'll do. Don't cast a spell on Caledon. Might want to put down another lab. Yeah, the rule of thumb is if the noun ends in S, as in its plural, then the verb does not end in S. What dinged? Oh, location explored. Hooray, got some more loot and another settlement. So this settlement works just like the other one, although this is reputation 0, so we need to boost our reputation by giving them shit. Except for exceptions, yeah, that's rule of thumb. And you've never thought about it? Yeah, exactly. That's the thing about being a native speaker, is you don't think about it. This one is reputation 1, so we can get stuff from them, but this other one, we cannot get much from them yet because we are at reputation 0. Just brain not braining. Yes, Caledon has a problem with his brain not braining. Yeah, that's the thing with rules of thumb is there's always exceptions, but it does work. It does at least meet like the 80-20 rule or whatever. And those are full already. Let's do that again. Because what do we need construction parts for, right? Only 30 apiece. That's not bad. Conveyor belts are just about done. Except for the exceptions to the 80-20 rule. Exactly. Could be French? Yeah. Nothing's worse than French. Connect several machines using conveyor belts. But we're going to start here. So let's go to T. Pull up the transports. We now have flat conveyors and U-shaped conveyors, in addition to our molten channels and our pipes. Weirdly, oh yeah, we did get flat connectors and U-shaped connectors too. So the flat conveyors, I'm going to do this one first, I think. I'm going to feed them in there like that. And then just like with pipes, you can kind of just snap them together, which is really nice. Let's unpause that. Let them go ahead and make those. We're going to do the same thing over here. You go in there. Go in there. Norwegian sounds like sneezing. There we go. Conveyor belts, 1. Fuel stations researching build a loose storage connected to the existing blast furnace using a U-shaped conveyor to output slag. Yes, slag. Alright, let's do that with the copper first, because we're smelting a lot more copper than we are iron at this point. We're mostly doing the scrap iron. You're a slag. Transport, loose storage. At the moment, I'm just going to put it like this, and then we'll do this to there. But I could do both of them. I mean, it wouldn't hurt me to do both of them. Dutch sounds to you like kids making up their own language. Alright, so slag. And I want the trucks to keep this empty whenever there's anything in it. So they'll do that. And let's copy that there. And then we'll do this one here. Let's see. Every sentence with that, that, or that. Slag is your favorite Triceratops? So Respawn's been having trouble with the development of the third game because a handful of the senior staff
Word
have
request
left.
incoming. Now
Oof.
brace yourselves. This might not sound good at all. Wally's not very good at Norwegian.
Slag is one of the Dinobots. Oh, it's been so long. I don't even know. I know. Let's keep that going. Let's do one thing first before we deal with Caledon. Let's deal with Settlement Water, which needs groundwater pump first. It's interesting that it hasn't made us do that yet. Go ahead and do that. I could have sworn Captain's Office will come up. I'm almost positive it does. I'm going to keep waiting on that. Are we to see all those goals? Show locked items? No. Okay, no. Let's see. While he's about to sneeze. Preemptive, bless you. Better go find a nice Maori word for me. Oof. Nevroku. Jesus, Caledon. Nevrokustik. Nevrokustisk. I can't find the syllables. Can you use it in a sentence? That doesn't gonna help any. Doing good so far, I bet. Let's see. You happen upon a website. There's a list and pictures. All the Transformer toys. You track your progress through school when you stopped recognizing the toys. Nice. Hyper Tiskedia Fragma Contravibrationer. Ugh. That hurts. I'm not even doing that one, Graspian. That's too long. That's worse than Caledon. I got nothing, Caledon. Let me, however, find my sound settings so that I can play the thing when he gives me crap shortly. That one. Wally the Doctor has triskaidekaphobia. That's the longest place name in New Zealand. That's a lot of stuff. It's a little much, actually. Alright, well, Caledon's sending me a DM. Let's go to build the fuel station, which is, I think, under trucks. Yeah, fuel station, right here. And I want to put this out a bit, maybe here in this clearing. And all the fuel station is a place where we can, well, refuel from. And I'm going to put a tank here too. Go ahead and build, please. And I want to bring in diesel. Keep it full, please. And what the fuel station lets us do is assign one or more trucks to it. And they'll go around and keep the excavators full, so they don't have to schlep all the way back here to civilization to find some fuel. It's kind of nice. Not to be confused with the fear of Nixon, tricky dickophobia. Yes. Translate as the summit where Tamatea, the man with the big knees, the climber of mountains, the land swallower, who traveled about, played his nose flute to his loved one. And I thought Norwegian was bad.
I mean, if you look at it in English, neuroacoustic diaphragm contra vibrations, you can probably, if you try to brain, you can probably manage to figure out what it is. In Norwegian, it is hyperneuroakustiske diafragmakontravibrasjoner. But we also use the word hikke, which is a little bit easier.
That's a little bit easier,
it should
yes.
give you a fairly good hint of what it actually is.
Hikke. Alright, so that will... Let's assign a truck to it. Such hypocrisy. Eladorn? Hypocrisy? What? So what'll happen is this truck that's assigned here, working here, and you can see the blue halo around it, which means that it's associated with the building you've clicked on. You can also click on a truck or other vehicle and see in a blue halo the building that it's associated with. What it'll do is whenever one of the excavators and also the tree harvesters, and I think maybe the tree planters, which we'll see later. Probably easier just to hiccup, yeah. It'll detect when an excavator is low on fuel, and it'll drive out and fuel it up rather than the excavator driving in. Now, the advantage there is the trucks are many times faster than the excavators moving around, and that way the excavators don't have to stop working in order to go get fuel, which is really nice. Collect that, and we're working on Settlement Water. Let's see. You didn't know slag was a derogatory term? Climb out from under the rock. Pay attention to things on the internet, I would say. I guess I could try to pronounce it. Taumata Wakatangi Hanga Ko Awawatam Tamatea Tiripuka Kapiki Maunga Oronuko Pokai Wenwakita. Slag is a metal byproduct, but it's also a derogatory term, a alternate word for the word slut. Hence the derogatory nature. But as with all of those terms, when we steal the term from something else, the something else is what suffers. Not bad? Well, luckily with a lot of those non-Western languages, the words are written out phonetically for an English speaker or whatever language, but usually English, at least in the case of a country or a land that was conquered by English speakers, which is a lot of them. And so since it's written out phonetically for English speakers, it's actually really oftentimes easier to pronounce those words than words in another Western language. Mary needs to be sung, preferably by Dame Kirite Kanawa, yes. And you also live under the rock, Iron Ducks? Yeah. Well, we knew that. Who's IZ? Can learn you a lot in 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So one of the things that I haven't talked about yet is all the trucks are complaining now. They are extremely busy. There are none that are idle, and they're doing a lot of jobs. And when that happens, you kind of want to make more. So let's do that. Go to our vehicle thingy. I'm just going to do... That's not the vehicle thingy. Here's the vehicle thingy. I'm going to make 5 more. Shift-click will make 5. And that might make our lives a little easier. Water for the settlement. Build a water facility. Alright, that's in here. And next to the trash one. Logic. You're here or somewhere else, you don't know. Get tongue-tied trying to pronounce Maori. So many sounds that you're not used to pronouncing. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, and the hybridized vowels are there to make... Yeah. So that's a water facility, but we need water. And we get water by putting out a water pump. I'm going to do here. Water. And water pump. Let's see. Let's turn it like this. I'm going to put it down like this. I'm going to save space to put another one there eventually, I think. Or maybe we should just do it now. Let's just do it now. Put it in there. And then we'll do a tank. Do a tank storage. I'm going to put that out a couple spaces just for reasons. Do this, and that will connect everything up. And that should work. So what'll happen is these pumps will pump out water at 48. I guess the second one's not going to do as much good then, is it? No, then don't bother with it. I'll leave the connector there though for later reasons. These will pump out water at 48 into here, and then trucks will come and pick up the water from there and deliver it to here. And we're also producing wastewater here, which is delicious. We can collect that. They also probably snag some water from these, which I should turn off. Trucks being able to pick up from these, because we want those dedicated to what they're there for. Let's see. Past pew, fucking days. Dog's appointment, bullshit call, therapy canceled, long ass day tomorrow, and some prep stuff for surgery in October. Yay. Ah, yes. Captain's office. Thank you. And then we're going to go ahead and put in these next two here. Terrain leveling and blueprints. And then we also need to do Research Lab 1, which is way over here. Which I think... Let's see. Yeah. I'm going to do all these other things before we do that. Just lower the priority? Nope. Denied. Because the priority here affects worker assignment, electricity, maintenance, and Unity consumption, not truck targeting. So that does not affect where the trucks will go for the resource. It only affects those things that it says there in the tooltip. Alright. Yeah, this advanced research, we're going to wait on that for a little bit. We'll do this captain's office thingy, we'll do the other thingies, and then we'll do the other thingies after that. Let's see. YouTube recommended you watch an old late night thing with Leslie the other day. October 2nd. Oh, good luck on that, Batman. Leslie was talking about the horror. What Leslie are we talking about? Yeah, that priority you can't... what you're looking at probably is this priority for the import or export, which is a different field, and you can only do that when you can set truck keep full, keep empty, which you can't do on rainwater harvester. If you wanted to do that, you'd have to put a tank down here. and then set it for, you know, trucks keep empty with a priority. Which I'd rather not do at this point either. What did we get? Oh yeah, we got stuff from location exploration. Let's go ahead and do this one. Yeah. It's a little bit convoluted because you see a priority there and you're like, oh, that can affect the trucks, but no, it doesn't. Oh, must be Leslie Nielsen we're talking about. And so yeah, you can see the trucks have reserved 20 water there, which is probably going to here. Probably. All right, captain's office. Research and build one. Okay, so let's build a captain's office. That's here in buildings? Yeah, here in buildings. I'm going to put that over here, I guess. Although, I think I should rotate it this way. No good reason. Except for reasons. Let's see. That's the one. Disturbing that he nailed it based on that tiny bit of information. Alright, another location explored, more stuff, and cargo ship technology. Nice. Let's just keep going this way, I guess. Activate vehicle fuel saver edict in your captain's office. So, the captain's office is where you can set policy. It's sort of like your government headquarters. So we have population edicts where we can boost growth, population growth, and fuel or food consumption. This will cost us 1 unity to use. This will give us 1 unity when used. And then there's industrial edicts as well. And the first 2 we get are vehicle fuel consumption, which will cost us 1 unity. We can do that and spend 1 unity. And what that means is instead of earning 2.85 per minute, we're going to earn 1.85 per minute. We can also reduce our maintenance consumption as well. And we'll get more edicts as we go. Let's see. Yep. So we're gonna wait on this because this is actually the last research, or the last goal, I should say. And so I'm gonna wait until we have researched everything else kind of in the way there, which will take us a little bit. We got a location explored. Good. Our ship's on its way back to refuel. Good also. And we got the cargo ship thingy here, which we can worry about later. But that really comes from, we can repair these cargo ships, and then we can use them for things like collecting oil from the oil rigs and other things. Let's go back into the research menu here and just do a bunch of these things. Advanced concrete is good fun. Irrigated farms will save us some headache later. Crop rotation's also nice. And then I think I want to get into transport balancing, conveyor lifts, and smart conveyor routing. I might as well just do them all. This custom services we can do. But advanced logistics control is actually the one that I wanted first. Can we pop things into a different spot in the queue? No, you can't. That'd be a nice QOL thing to have. But that's okay. We'll just do it when we do it. That's fine. Here's some more edicts, which we will get to. But let's do retaining walls. And the custom surfaces there. Then we can do the edicts. And we can't. Or can we do? Yes, we can do the vegetable farming. Conveyor lifts? Yes. I built you an office on the island? No, I did not build you an office on the island. Well, he wanted you to watch these IT guys, or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's called IT Crowd. Yeah, the captain's office. That's not for you. You're not the captain now. IT Crowd is great. Yeah, it has high and low moments. It's British comedy, so it's going to have that. Really, the first season is the most important. You were in IT Sport when you watched it? Nice, yeah. That'll do it every time. Let's do this again. And get this improved or expanded. They're short. Yes, that's true. They're like 20 minutes or something. They're really short. Let's snooze that ad break. Oh, IT Crowd's way better than Big Bang Theory. Way better. Like, have you seen, I'm going to guess the answer to this is going to be a no, but Silicon Valley? Yeah, Big Bang Theory is not nearly as funny as IT Crowd. I mean, it had good moments too. I disagree with Iron Ducks in that it's not funny, but IT Crowd is funnier. And they're more true to being nerds than Big Bang Theory is. Alrighty, so we're working on these other thingies. I think we'll do one more design here for Advanced Concrete before we call it a night. We may not build the thing, but at least we can work on the design for it. So we just unlocked the ability to make concrete. That's made at a concrete mixer. If I ever wanted to know where you live and like lighthearted murder detective story, lighthearted murder, then watch the Brokenwood Mysteries or My Life is Murder. Interesting. Let's see. Let's see. And now chat won't let me scroll it for some stupid ass reason. Yeah, I got irritated at Big Bang Theory toward the end. It went all Game of Thrones on me. So let's work on a little bit of a design here. We probably won't be able to finish this, but I want to at least start on this design. So the primary thing here for making concrete is the concrete mixer. Everybody be surprised. And we have 4 recipe choices. The locations are next door to where you live and all filmed in and around Auckland. Nice. So they all take cement. But then we have some choices. We can either use sand or manufactured sand. And we can either use crushed slag or gravel, which is crushed rock. Manufactured sand is crushed rock. Basically, crush it twice and you get sand. The advantage to using manufactured sand is we have plenty of rock on this world. All these mountains are rock. The whole frickin' place is rock. Whereas sand is only available in a few smallish spots along beaches here. There and here and here. I mean, these aren't small, but there's not a lot of sand in the world. So I crush the slag. Yes, Caliburn. Crush the slag. So what I don't want to use sand. I want to use manufactured sand instead. And because you can use crushed slag, it's a really useful way to use slag instead of dumping it. So we're going to do that too. So there's an actual sand shortage in the world right now. There is. It's actually the most critical resource that we are lacking. Yep. So we're going to not even select these two recipes. I'm going to select these two here, though. We're going to put the slag one in first, so it's higher priority. And then we'll put the gravel, the crushed rock one in second. Let's see. Reading what your wall of text there is, Calendar. Okay. So I'm going to use those two recipes. In order to make the manufactured sand, the crushed slag, and the gravel, we need to use a crusher. All three of them are made there. We need to have 3 manufactured sand per recipe. That's made here. We get 8 of it at a time, which is really good. From 8 gravel. You can also make sand, but you need to mine quartz first and crush it, and I don't want to do that. Well, it is when you're in the tiny little chat window. You know? So then, in order to make gravel, we need to have another crusher. And that will be made from rock. And so we only need 8 for this. But we can also potentially need 9 for this. So that 24 is kind of nice. It's barely a paragraph. Yeah, I know. And then we need 1 more for crushing the slag. Which is here. And that makes 24 crushed slag. So there's plenty of slag to crush there too. Barely a footnote, yes. The other piece we need, though, is the cement. The cement's made at a rotary kiln. Put that in here for right now. The rotary kiln only has a single recipe, at least for right now. And, you're barely a footnote, Caledon, yes. That needs limestone and coal, and it makes 3. So the next thing that I want to do is use all 3, so we need to use 2 of these. Which means that now we need to have 6 sand and 18 gravel or slag. And we're making 8 sand. So that means we use 6 gravel, 18 and 6. Conveniently happens to be 24. So the game is really nice to us in that if we only have rock available, we can still just operate one of each of these crushers to get cement, concrete going. And that should take care of that tech, I think, completely. Yeah, that takes care of all that. So we'll hook this up next time. We're actually low on power right now. Oops. Yeah, that's a problem. That's a problem. Let's put another one of these down and do a little pipe here. Priority that, please. Or build that, please. Let's see. But I think we'll leave this here for now. We'll wire this all together with belts and things. We'll put input storages here so we have a little bit of an input buffer. We'll obviously have an output buffer. And we'll see if we want to connect this to these things, which only average about 6.5 a piece, or if we want to connect it up to this water source over here, which is probably the better option. But we'll see about that. Why are you not running? Oh, we have no diesel. That's why. We really use all the diesel? Oh, I never told them to bring it in here. Oopsie. Okay, bring it in here, please. There we go. Because we used it all in here, which is pushing, but we never set it to pull. All right, there we go. That'll fix power. It actually already has. Excellent. Alrighty, so let's find ourselves a raid target and get out of here. Pause. Let's see. How about if we raid? Let's raid Catafly again. Playing Raft. Continuing their Raft playthrough, which will be good to see. I'm getting ads, so we'll let that run for a moment. But thank you all for coming and hanging out. Thanks for all the chats and the redeems. I hope this is something you guys have been looking forward to. I think it is, because it was second highest voted in the poll a month or two ago, whenever that was. But that's a weird ass ads. Perfect or Catafly though. Anyways, I really enjoy this game, and I'm really glad to finally be getting around to playing it again here on stream. So thank you all for coming once again. Oh, Graspian, thank you for the resub with Prime. 5 months. Much appreciated. So yeah, let's raid Catafly. Alright, so yeah, thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. Thanks again, Graspian, for that resub. Everybody else, thank you for the chatting and the redeeming. And we will see you all again on Thursday for some more Captain of Industry. Have a good one. Bye for now.